Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. On this particular cricket show, I'll be talking about the Under 19 World Cup semi final where the Indian bowlers demolished Pakistan in the semi finals of the Under 19 World Cup in Christchurch in New Zealand to reach the finals, and will be meeting Australia in the finals. And what a final that is going to be! Australia will be definitely baying for blood. As you know, they were hit hard when Australia lost in the preliminary round against India, and they were really surprised by India's pace. And let me tell you, after having a look at the India's pace bowlers, the young breed of Nagarkoti, Shivam Mevi, and the seamer Ishan Patel, who took 4 wickets, it was refreshing to see that these guys are all coming from the Marv Pace Foundation, and really good to see that the Indian future as far as pace bowling is looking quite bright, and these guys tomorrow might be playing for the real India. Nagarkoti, Shivam Mevi, they were superb, I thought, so which I'll be talking about, and we will also have a look at some cricket news as well. So, but first, and also, before I go into the Under 19 World Cup, I will be previewing the Sri Lanka versus Bangladesh. The first test match is coming up tomorrow in Chittagong. So, let's go there first and then come to the Under 19 World Cup. So, as far as the preview is concerned, Bangladesh, they have definitely been hit hard by the absence of Shakib Al Hasan due to injury. But if you look at their squad, they have included a lot of spinners because Shakib Al Hasan is not there. So they have brought in Mostadek Hussain, the Offie, Mehdi Hassan Miraz, Taijul Islam, the left arm spinner. Abdul Razak has been roped in, and Abdul Razak, as I said, he's coming back after a gap of 4 years from the wilderness, I would say, and so he has also been roped in. So it really gives one the feeling that the Chittagong pitch will probably be giving, I would say, will be assisting spin very, very quickly. So just talking about that, as you know, Bangladesh are having all these 5 spinners, and they're definitely going to miss Shakib Al Hasan if the pitch is going to turn for sure. But look at Sri Lanka. Now we are talking about Rangana Herath. Rangana Herath has always been successful against Bangladesh. And Rangana Herath, the left arm spinner, according to me, with all the experience that he has, is equal to all the spinners over there that Bangladesh possess. So that is the comparison that I will be doing. So Sri Lanka with Rangana Herath is very, very powerful. And Lakshan Sandakan or whether Akila Dhananjaya is going to play, that is going to be interesting as to who will they go for. And so basically we are looking in the first test here in Chittagong as to probably the pitch going to suit the spinners. So as I said, for Sri Lanka, they have their old war horse Rangana Herath, who is on an absolute roll. He has taken over 400 wickets, and one knows what Rangana Herath can do to the opposition. And so let's have a look at the Sri Lankan team. Now the Sri Lankan team have Dimuth Karnaratne and Dhananjay De Silva, and Dhananjay De Silva is coming fresh on the heels of a century that he made against India, in India, as you would remember. And so that is the one thing that Dhananjay, that was his century. And then that was Dhananjay De Silva coming into form after quite a long time, because he made his debut against Australia. That was a memorable debut, and now he has hit his straps. Kushal Mendes, another very good test player, and Dinesh Chandimal, a very another person who can lead with the bat, and he'll be captaining the side. Roshan Silva, Niroshan Dikwala, the wicket keeper, who can play aggressively. Dilruwan Pereira, the all-rounder, he will bowl his right arm offs and also bat well. Rangana Herath, as I've already spoken about, the bowling would be in the hands of Suranga Lakmal. Suranga Lakmal, as you know, is a very good bowler, and also Lairu Gamage was very impressive against Pakistan, as you would remember. So he's also there. So So Sri Lanka are looking pretty equipped according to me. And talking about Bangladesh, Tamim Iqbal to me is in some very good form right now. So that will be something which Bangladesh should be very happy about. Imrul Case, another test specialist there. Mominul Haq, as we know, he has been a very consistent scorer in test matches. Mushfiqur Rahim, who would be another vital cog for Bangladesh in the absence of Shakib Al Hasan. I think the owners will fall on Tamim Iqbal, Mushfiqur Rahim, and also Mahmudullah. So Bangladesh have a new captain. They have Mahmudullah will be captaining the side, with Shakib Al Hasan not in the side. Liton Das will be doing the keeping. So Mushfiqur Rahim will be fielding, I reckon. The bowling, as I said, Mossadegh Hussain is there. Mehdi Hasan Miraz is a quality bowler. Taijul Islam, and Mehdi Hasan also can be termed as an all-rounder because he also bats well. Taijul Islam, and then they have Abdul Razak. It will be I'm sure, since they're called in, Abdul Razak is definitely going to play. They also called in Naeem Hassan from the Under-19 World Cup, and Mustafiz Rahman, another, to me, he would be the key as far as breaking partnerships or giving the breakthrough is concerned. So all in all, the first test against between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh happens to be a very interesting one, which is coming up tomorrow. And now talking about the semi-finals of the ICC Under-19 World Cup. It was a clash which happened between arch rivals India taking on Pakistan in the semi-finals. So the India batted first, and as I said, India made 272 for 9, we just spoke about yesterday. But just going through that, they got a good start, and Shubman Gill was the one who, as I said, played a high caliber innings. He held the innings together, and some of his strokes were really high class. He was not on 102 of 94, there was 7 fours, and finally India made 272 for 9 of 50 overs. And Mohammad Musa was the one who picked up the most wickets, 4 for 67. Now, and Pakistan, I have to say that their fielding left a lot to be desired. They dropped a few catches, there were a lot of misfields, and that was not something which was expected from Pakistan. Now, Pakistan under-19 were put under the cosh right away. It all started with Shivam Mevi opening the bowling. In fact, after seeing Shivam Mevi, when I saw that Nagar Koti was given an IPL contract, I was really thinking as to why Shivam Mevi did not get a contract. I mean, the way he was generating pace, and at the same pace he was generating exaggerated bounce, and his first 3 overs were maidens, and look at his bowling figures: 4 overs, 3 maidens, 6 runs and no wicket. Such was the command he had over his bowling. Porel was the wicket taker. He was the one who repeatedly was striking. He had taken the first 4 wickets of the Pakistanis to rock them onto the back foot, and rocking them and putting them on the back foot. 6 overs, 2 maidens, 17 runs and 4 wickets. And what saw from Porel is that he's not as pacey as either Mevi or Nagar Koti, but he has that high arm action which allows him to get the ball to bounce, and he definitely did a very, very good job for India. Nagar Koti was not among the wickets, but you can see his bowling figures: 5 overs, 1 maiden, none for 7. Shiva Singh Bolade was 220. Parag at 4 overs, 2 for 6. It makes very happy reading, pretty reading when you look at the Indian under-19 team world bowling figures. And look at the batsmen from Pakistan. I mean, they had no answer, I would say. The highest scorer was Rohil Nazir with 18 of 39 balls. Imran Shah too. I am not going to go into even the names. Really, they were absolutely no match. And looking at the way the Indian bowlers bowled, I have to say that the prospects are looking very bright for the future as far as pace bowling is concerned for India. And now, as I said, it all shifts on to the finals, which is the finals, which is coming up between Australia and India. So India will be taking on India will be taking on Australia in the finals of Under 19 World Cup on Saturday, and I can tell you this could be a real cracker, and Australians would be waiting to exact sweet revenge on the Indians, and they now, at least in the first match, I would say they were basically surprised by the Indians generating so much of pace, as the captain said in the post-match press conference after they lost to India, after seeing Shivam Mevi and Nagar Koti extracting some great pace and bounce. Now I'm sure in the Aussies would be absolutely ready for it now, because they know what to expect, and we might see a different approach from the Aussies against the Indians. And one definitely is waiting to get into this Under 19 World Cup finals, which will culminate and that will decide as to who will go and lift the Under 19 World Cup in New Zealand. What a proud moment that would be for whichever team goes and lifts it. But I think we are in for a cracker of a match here, with India wanting to establish that supremacy over the Aussies, but the Aussies definitely, after being stung once, would like to really come and sting back India, and that is going to be very, very interesting. So that's the reason I think some sparks will fly in that match between India and Australia in the Under 19 World Cup finals on Saturday. And good luck to both the teams. Now on a very lighter note, very light cricket news coming in from South Africa. South Africans' main, I would say, one of the marquee players or the key players in the South African team, AB de Villiers, won't be playing in the first 3 one-day internationals due to injury, and that is not good news for South Africa, because one knows what AB de Villiers can do with the bat. One knows that, and he's ruled out with an injury, unfortunately. So, and Wanderers pitch, where the test was played, where the pitch was doing all sorts of nonsense between India and South Africa, was rated as the poor pitch by the international ICC. And other than that, the Indian some news from India, where the Indian bowler Cheteshwar Pujara, as you know, would be he has played for a few counties, as you would remember. He played for Derbyshire last season, and now he has been picked up by Yorkshire. So he will be representing Yorkshire, and he will be actually doing a stint with Yorkshire in the English County Cricket League, and that's what the news is. So Pujara is preparing to play, and I think that is a very good thing, because, as you know, India will be touring England, and Pujara would be the one on whom there will be a lot of hopes, because he wants to get prepared when India take on England in England, and that's the reason Cheteshwar Pujara would be playing for Yorkshire. So that is other news. Well, other than that, there's nothing to really talk about. It has been a pleasure bringing you this daily cricket happening show on a daily basis. Hope you all liked it, and it's good night.